We're going to look at each of the stages of meiosis. So the first stage is a single period of interphase. So we're starting out with the parent cell here, and you might hear this referred to as a germ cell. And this cell is going to become a gamete. So it's not going to become a skin cell or a muscle cell, it's going to become a gamete. So if it's male, it's going to become a sperm cell, female, it's going to become an egg cell. So this is before DNA replication. This is before the S phase. So we're just talking about a cell that has 46 chromosomes. Then at a certain point, going back to the cells and their surface area to volume ratio, it's divide or die, so the cell must make copies of those 46 chromosomes. So now we have 46 copies or 92 pieces of DNA at this point in the nucleus. So now we're going to get into the actual stages. The actual stages of meiosis are very similar to mitosis. In mitosis, the actions of mitosis, prophase are the actions are to prepare for cell division. So it's a prep stage. In that prep stage, you have the chromatin condensing into chromosomes. You have the nuclear envelope is dissolving so that you can then move the chromosomes around. You have the movement of the centrioles and the formation of the spindle fibers, or the beginnings of the formation of the spindle fibers. So all of that is the same. But what's different is what goes on with the chromosomes. Because in meiosis, we're going to make gametes. So what we need to do is to put together chromosomes of the same number. So your chromosomes are known by number 1 through number 22, and then you've had the 23rd pair, the X's and the Y's. These chromosomes are called homologous chromosome pairs. And what that means is they have the same genes in the same locations. Now, the version of the gene that they have might be different. So the gene is for eye color, but the version of the gene could be blue or it could be brown. But homologous chromosome pairs have the same genes in the same locations, and they join together at this point and only at this point into something called a tetrad. And a tetra, remember, means four. So this tetrad has both of these chromosomes kind of in close proximity, so around their centromere, they're kind of together at this point. And if you notice, what ends up going on is that there is a little bit of exchange of genetic materials between the different chromosomes. And what this is called, it's called crossing over. And what you end up getting are called recombinant chromosomes. So if you look at these, this chromosome here is all red. This one is all blue. So maybe this one's from mom and this one's from dad. And then after the end of this crossing over event, you're going to see that the red chromosome now has a little bit of blue right there. The blue one has a little bit of red right there. And you look at these different letters, and we'll do more of these letters in genetics, but these letters represent the genes that are there. So, whereas before this red chromosome had little a's and big B's, now this particular section of the red chromosome has little a's and little b's. This chromosome, blue one, was big A, little b, but now it has big A, big B. And what that does, it creates genetic diversity. So this is something that is essential to the survival of the species, is creating this genetic diversity. So this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. Now, there's no guarantee that this will happen. It's perfectly normal for it to happen, but the chromosomes, the pieces of the chromosomes or the genes of the chromosomes that are most likely to do this little switcheroo act are the ones that are nearer to the ends. The closer they are towards the centromere, the less likely that they are to cross over. And then some genes are located close together on the chromosome, and they're more likely to be crossed over together, which kind of sort of makes a little bit of a pattern that you might see in people. Is that when these genes are linked, they're very close together on a chromosome, they might go together in this switcheroo. Now, sorry, there is a little video here on crossing over. If you'll please look at that before you proceed on. Now, this section, I've got 3 slides here for you to do a little bit of something another with this crossing over, this kind of an essential process that only occurs during prophase I, so the first stage of meiosis. Um, just a little bit of information about it, just drag and drop. And same thing here, just drag and drop. So some terms over here that I was just talking about. So if you need to go back and listen to that again to some of these terms, then